Jitsu Milarepa was born in Tibet over 900 years ago. When Milarepa was 7, his father died and left him and his mother in the hands of his aunt and uncle. Instead of helping them, the uncle took their property and enslaved them. Milarepa turned to black magic to seek revenge. He killed his aunt and uncle and destroyed their entire village. After realizing the great suffering he had caused, Milarepa deeply regretted his actions. He sought out a teacher to help him transform his evil powers into something that would benefit all beings. He spent the rest of his life wandering the Tibetan Himalayas, singing songs of compassion and enlightenment. To this day, Milarepa is revered in Tibet as a great saint who, through his music, was able to spread the ideals of compassion and nonviolence.
Break it down! Well, I do the things I want, 'cause when you're dead, you know that you can. I'd rather be a free man in my grave than living as a puppet or a slave. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share what's mine. And then the harder they go, the harder they fall, one and all. I said the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. I said the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all.
Good afternoon. Is everybody all right? Okay, I'm on the stage right now to introduce the next speaker, Palden Gyatso. Well, listen. We'd really like you to listen to him. He was in prison from 1959 to 1992 by the Chinese during the Tibetan occupation, and he's a very inspirational man, and I just finished reading his book last night, and he's going to have something very important to say to you, so please listen. Thank you.
드린 안에 아메리카 탱숨바 안에 주문함 양자를 잡아 가부 중토치나.
This is the third time I've had the opportunity to speak at these Tibetan Freedom Concerts. Thank you for the opportunity, for this chance.
다른 이니 밀레레베 이니 버단 제베 저빈 시대체도 로양의 존도 공존năng 바레스.
We owe our thanks to the Milarepa Fund, who is working on behalf of the Tibetan cause, but more generally for human rights throughout the entire world. So please give them all your thanks.
디토라 이니 주는다 디가 페베 주는 졸라 이니 쇼야 가려와르스나 이니 벽에 도함이 톱단기 내도 축점지 주고 예스.
So what I'd like to tell you about a little bit today is the human rights situation as it is in Tibet right now, from my own experience.
벽을 도함이 톱단기 내제 이니 알레 지도도 칭요아레스. 알레 두르 칭요아레스. 두르 알레 두르 칭요아레스.
In fact, the human rights situation in Tibet has been getting worse from year to year in recent times.
배 나란차샤나 이니 업중어군에 kumsu khoni para any kana chunga nangdo lo sumju so sum debris.
I spent 33 years in Chinese concentration camps in Tibet from 1959 till 1992.
Di nangdo la any kana temju tangla tangya ina ini naga draminda na to yore any mila any namda gyapche mi maram piche any metwaya any chu koma shoya.
During this time in prison, we weren't simply present or simply living in prison, but on a regular basis. Other prisoners and myself were tortured. We were tortured in various ways. For example, we'd be stripped naked, suspended from the ceiling, and then have boiling water thrown at us. We'd have fires lit beneath us. We'd also be prodded with electric cattle prods. For men, these cattle prods were thrust into the mouth. But for women, they were sexually violated with these electric cattle prods. I've described all of my life story here, these many years that I spent in prison, in my own autobiography. So if you'd like to learn more, this is all written up in English in a book called An Autobiography of a Tibetan Monk. I ask something of you, especially as the youth of America, the youth gathered here, and that is please work for the sake of freedom, for human rights, not only for the Tibetan people, but for the Chinese people and wherever human rights are being suppressed throughout the entire world.
지기 톱단 지기 포안이 톱저 땅자 애니 먹도 중벌이 저리 셔들이 내 그거 요나 애니 지기 톱단 지기 포 먹어야 애니 냐된 뒤토라 중남 그 공부치라지.
What we need to work for is human rights for everyone. We mustn't allow even one race or one person to have his or her human rights taken away, because when one person's freedom is lost, it deprives us all of freedom.
점불링 뒤도라 이니 제정의사제 샤야디이나 이니 또진 아메리게 이니 슈누남라 또진 라레 대유스.
Where is the hope of the world for championing human rights, democracy, and freedom? Many people around the world look principally to the United States, and within the United States, we look especially to you, the youth, the young people of America. It's in your hands.